Hello everyone, I'm Virginia. Welcome to my channel, and if you've been here before, then welcome back. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey guys, so I was just in a fashion show, so I thought I would share that with you. However, I don't think I will keep this makeup on long because I am kind of tired, and I'm tired of having makeup on my face because I've had it on since 4 p.m. and it is almost 2 a.m. now. So our show didn't even start until 8 o'clock, but it took us quite a while to get into hair and makeup and get our outfits ready and everything. I'm just showing you guys the makeup. That way you know what it looks like because I'm going to take the makeup off and then I'll tell you guys all about it. Also, if you guys are wondering what the noise is behind me, I'm dog sitting. So I have this like teeny tiny little dog. It's like a family friend's dog and they're out of town. They're in Texas right now. So we're doggy sitting for them, and we have their teeny tiny dog. His name is Moose, and he's just kind of like, I don't know, skittering around or something, and he's making a little noise. So that would be the noise. So today I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of background on the fashion show that I was in, and I don't know why I thought that I would come in and like want to film an entire video after I had done like 8 hours of work. But here I am, and it's a new day. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that I do have a try-on haul coming up soon. So if you want to see that, then go ahead and subscribe so that you get notified. So for this show, I actually found out about it online. I'm a part of a few Facebook groups that have to do with like modeling and stuff like that. So I was just looking through those, and often you'll see things for like trade for photos, what's what TFP stands for, or something like that, where people can build up their portfolios, both as photographers or as models. So that's usually what these like Facebook pages have on them, which by the way is a great way to get started. If you want to become a model and you don't have any experience, then what I would recommend, other than just obviously looking for agencies, is maybe doing some headshots, but also doing like trade for photos, because then you don't have to pay for them like you will with headshots. Headshots can cost a lot, especially depending on where you're living. Just make sure that you're working with safe people and that like you get your mom or dad to go with you or something. But trade for photo is great because it means that the photographer is doing it for free, and they will give you the copies of their photos after they've taken them without you having to pay for them, and then you can put those in your portfolio. But it just so happened that when I was looking through the Facebook page, I saw a post for a runway show, and it was basically just for a bunch of up-and-coming designers, and they wanted to put on a fashion show. So they posted, actually my designer posted specifically that she wanted models for her line, and I think some of the other designers also posted, but like they weren't all in the same post. It wasn't like one post for all the designers, but my designer said that she was looking for someone, and she listed sizes. So you do want to be those sizes or as close to those sizes as you can get. I went ahead and like contacted her, and I said, hey, I'd be really interested in being a part of this fashion show. And I sent her some photos of myself, both with makeup and without makeup. Most people in fashion want to see what you look like without makeup. That's a really big thing. Like for actors, they want to see a headshot, but you will have probably, it might be natural makeup, but you're still going to have makeup on. But for modeling shows, modeling agencies, they usually want to see what you look like without makeup or as close to having no makeup on as you possibly can. I told her my height. I don't know if I told her my weight. I think I told her like my size measurements, so she could like decide if they were close enough to her sizes, because they weren't exact to what she put on her post, but I submitted anyway, and she got back to me and said that she would like to have me as a part of the show. She also said that she was having a rehearsal, or rather that the entire show was having a rehearsal on the Saturday. If there is a rehearsal and you have the option to attend it, I would definitely recommend that, because it just helps you get to know some of the other people that you're going to be working with. I definitely wouldn't have wanted to walk and like you get there and you haven't met the person before or something like that. So I went to the rehearsal, and it was basically just us walking through and like timing it to the music, which was a good opportunity, obviously, for me to hear the music, because you want to walk kind of in line or in beat with the rhythm of the music. And some people were also doing fittings. My designer wasn't, but hers was more like streetwear, so she didn't really need to like make sure that there were exact measurements. But we basically just did a walkthrough, and we timed with the number of girls for each designer how long it would take for each of us to walk. Another part of the rehearsal was knowing when to walk and when to stop. So that's actually something that you have to find out when you are walking, and it's up to the designer how they'd like you to walk. If you look at super high fashion like haute couture shows, a lot of those, the models don't even stop. Ours was just a short runway. I think it was a little longer than like 25 feet or something. And we walked out onto the beginning of the runway, and we were supposed to stop and pose there. And then we had to walk to the end of the runway, and we did a quick pose there, I think like 3 to 4 seconds. And then you turn around, and we were supposed to return to the beginning of the runway and do another pose before walking off. So that was a big part of our rehearsal, was just timing the music and making sure that we were posing and stopping in the same place. So that was my rehearsal day. It wasn't really too stressful or too difficult. It was just a couple of hours. And that was in preparation for the next Saturday, which is when the actual show was. So on the day of the show, we actually weren't supposed to start the show until I think it was like 8 o'clock or 7:30, but our call time was 4 o'clock. So if you're wondering what all of those leading up hours are for, they are for hair and makeup and just making sure that your costumes fit and work properly. So I was actually the last person to go into makeup, but I think I finished that about an hour before the show started. So there was definitely downtime. And if you are in something like a runway show, then definitely bring something to entertain yourself while you're sitting there, because it will be quite a long time until you're ready to do the show. Also, something they had us do was a final walkthrough, just another rehearsal to make sure that everything was like flowing properly. We were having some technical difficulties actually, so it's definitely a good thing that we did that, because I think they were having trouble with some of the music, and it took them quite a while to work that one out. So usually designers will assign their models clothing before the show, but our designer just decided to assign us while we were there. So she went down the line and assigned us all a different outfit. And I am wearing the mesh pants, as you can see, and a kind of like burgundy crop top. And actually on the side of it, it did have their logo running up one side. So the order is also important in a runway show, because they want to make sure that they're not like doing two similar outfits that are like right next to each other. Since I was wearing burgundy, she made sure not to put me next to anyone else who was wearing burgundy. So designers just like to make sure that the order is like coherent and not too repetitive. So each designer had a different number of people. We had actually one of the bigger lines. I think there were about 12 of us, and most of the lines usually had around 8 to 10 people. When it was finally time to line up for our runway walk, what they did was they put us all in order of show. We were the 4th group in line, and then it was time for us to walk. So here's the footage. So after each individual did their own walk, then we all had to come out as a group, and then our designers actually came out and bowed after us. And then of course we returned to backstage, and the other, I think 3 or 4 lines walked after us. So after we got backstage, we weren't quite done, because then it was time for photos. we all went around and we did a group photo. And after the show and the photos, that's when we returned the clothing. Unless the designer tells you that you can keep the clothing, you definitely are supposed to return it. So we just went ahead and we returned it to the designers so that they can make sure that they had all of the pieces. And then after that, the models are released and they can do whatever they want. So a lot of people did go out to dinner. Since the vendors were still there, I went and I looked around through the vendors. There was also a musician who was playing that night. So some people stayed for the concert. And after I checked out the vendors, I went to dinner and it was probably like 1 o'clock before I got home. So as you can tell, it is a very long process, but if you do like it, then it's definitely something that I would recommend because I felt like it was so much fun. So we haven't gotten all of the photos back from the show, but I think that they will be popping up on Instagram. So if you guys are interested, you guys can check out my Instagram where I've already posted the footage of me walking on the runway. And also you can check out the main page that was for the fashion show, and that is on Generation Bloom. So after doing that whole runway show, does that mean that I'm a model now? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Also, let me know if you guys have any more questions about the process. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.